What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video. And we are here again for another Ring of Honor Wrestling TV review. Episode number 72. I will say this now. I say this a lot of times, but this is an extremely quick episode of ROH. It should be an extremely quick review. Who knows? What I'm trying to say is, every time that I say that, it ends up being like the same amount of time as all the other ones. So there's that. I will say the most important thing from this episode of ROH that I took away lasted all of about 20 seconds. And I will say it at the end of this video because it potentially could contain a spoiler. So it's a little bit of a making you wait for that. So let's get on to this actual episode of ROH with our opening contest, a three-way match in the women's division. Robin Renegade versus Marina Shafir versus Taya Valkyrie. Taya goes to the outside as Shafir takes down Robin, and then Robin gets the upper hand on Shafir, but Taya starts to attack after that. Robin is then double-teamed by her opponents. Shafir locks in the Mother's Milk sleeper hold, with Taya breaking it up with a running knee and then winning the match, hitting Shania Payne on Robin Renegade. We're going to get backstage segment with the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Undisputed Kingdom, and they have been competing a lot over their careers, notably in AEW over the past year or so, and obviously, in the sake of this, in ROH. And make note that they have competed at a lot of Death Before Dishonor events, and that they want the night off on this year's event. It's going to be Roderick Strong's birthday. They want to celebrate it with him. And they kind of slip up and mention that they do not have a good track record at Death Before Dishonor. Matt Taven making note that he lost the ROH World title at Death Before Dishonor in 2019 to Roosh. And essentially, they want the night off of Death Before Dishonor. So I don't know if that'll actually happen. We shall wait and see what happens with that. Next, we get the first TV title match of Atlantis Jr.'s reign, and he goes against Serpentico. And I'll more than likely put this in the thumbnail of the video. This was an extremely quick match. Fast-paced early on, with Serpentico having the advantage after attacking after the Code of Honor. But Atlantis Jr. changes this up after hitting a corner dropkick and a frog splash to win the matchup. Like I said, extremely quick match. Next, Sky Blue versus Laney Luck. I was extremely shocked because Sky Blue, they put the little graphic up when the competitors compete. Sky Blue has a 12-1 record in ROH with her only loss. I did not fact check it, but I definitely know that at least the one loss was to Athena very early on in our ROH TV review era. And that was an extremely good matchup, so there's that. A early Hurricane Rana by Blue. Luck fights back, hitting a flip into the ring for a 2 count, and then a Spicoli driver for a 2 count. But Sky Blue gets a 3 count after hitting the Code Blue to win the matchup. We get another debut vignette, a coming soon vignette from the MXM collection. With the most notable thing from this vignette is that they will make ROH stand for Radiant, Ozempic, and Hotness. I don't know if the O word they used was Ozempic. I did not rewind it. That's what it sounded like. It could have sounded like several other words, but I definitely know that the H was for Hotness. We got a Proving Ground match. Billy Starks versus Mackenzie Mitchell. Athena is at ringside for this matchup on crutches and with her security guards that have been following her. Starks targets the neck area of Morgan, and this is the story for most of this matchup. Starks asks for Athena's approval if she's doing things right throughout the course of this matchup, and wins with a hammerlock fishhook that she has been using a lot recently. Next, Diamante versus Nyx, NYXX. An immediate attack by Diamante, who hits a crossroads and wins the match with an armbar that she dedicates to Layla Hirsch. Now, I will say several things. This was an extremely quick match. I've been saying that all night. Nyx's only other match in ROH was against Layla Hirsch. A good fact by Caprice Coleman. And I somewhat have forgotten about the Layla Hirsch Diamante no holds barred / street fight. I don't know when it will take place, but a lot of this matchup had to deal with that. So extremely interesting to see and when that match will take place. And then we go to the backstage area with Athena talking to Billie Starkz after her match, but her back is turned to the camera, so she does not know that the camera is there. And once she sees the camera, she falls down. And they kind of were highlighting throughout this episode that Athena probably is not injured. You know, I don't think if she was injured, she would have this match scheduled for Death Before Dishonor. I will say, when this angle scenario first popped up, I thought it was legit because it kind of came out of nowhere, and I didn't really know. But the only thing that I said that, you know, was kind of head ass, and even to that extent wasn't really that head ass, was Wheeler Yuta legitimately was out for like half of a year. And I was like, you kind of, you know, I don't know what the hell you do with your title picture if you legitimately had somebody not defend their title for half a year. So I don't know if they were going to go that route with this. Again, Athena is scheduled to face Queen Aminata at Death Before Dishonor, so we'll see what happens there. So we have our last matchup, Lee Johnson and the Infantry versus the Dark Order. John Silver and Carly Bravo start this match off, but frequent tags are made. We get lots of drop kicks by Johnson and the Infantry. They followed up with dives to the outside. Reynolds and Silver Reynolds hits a tope suicida to the outside that sets up a Silver's brain buster onto Johnson, but this only gets a 2 count. After this, the Dark Order send Johnson in the ring and triple team on him. This is eventually until a tag is made. The Dark Order stop a boot camp attempt from the Infantry. The Dark Order then land a triple punch and drop kick onto all 3 of their opponents, but could not land their flip slam. I still don't know what that move is called. It bothers me. It probably has a great name. I know the Dark Order's finisher used to be the Fatality. I don't think that's what they call this, but regardless, the Infantry hit the boot camp and Lee Johnson hits a frog splash to win the bout, finishing this episode. Now, that is it for the review part. Now, if you want to, you know, not be spoiled on something, then click off of this. And if you don't want to be spoiled about who Mark Briscoe will face at Death Before Dishonor, click off the video. Thank you for watching. But earlier in the episode, I will more than likely put it in the title of this video. I don't know if I could fit it all in there yet. Don't take that out of context. They announced that Dalton Castle will be facing Roderick Strong on this week's episode of Collision, and the winner will face Mark Briscoe at Death Before Dishonor. Now, I have several thoughts on this. I am, you know, the world title is supposed to be the most important title of each brand, and the ROH world title has had an extremely weird run during this time period because most of the time the world champion spends their time period on AWTV and not ROH. Or this time around, it's a pay-per-view. ROH has 3 pay-per-views each year, so I kind of want them to be treated as big events. Now I will say, Roderick Strong is an ROH legend. In the video package they played showcasing this match, they went through like, hey, Roderick Strong is an ROH legend. My favorite thing about this scenario, though, and they highlighted it, is that Roderick Strong's last 2 matches in ROH were against Dalton Castle and Mark Briscoe, so it's kind of a whole full circle type of thing. So I saw a spoiler for Collision. I'm going to imagine it is right. By the time we get to this review next week, we'll know, but I'm pretty sure Roderick Strong does win this matchup. So Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe at Death Before Dishonor will be an extremely interesting match. It will also be a lot of interesting because Mark Briscoe has the Blood and Guts match that Wednesday, and then Death Before Dishonor is that Friday, so we'll see what happens in that match. But I am, for one, extremely excited to potentially see Roderick Strong back on ROH programming. So the road to Death Before Dishonor continues. I do thank you for watching this video. Will next week's episode timeout? No. Okay. I was about to say something extreme. So we got one more week, and then the week after, that will be the last episode before Death Before Dishonor. I was trying to think in my head, is Death Before Dishonor next Friday? But it's 2 Fridays from now. So I apologize for that. I said this should be a quicker review. It's the same amount of time as all the other ones. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes I start blabbing off and talk about random stuff. So I say that. So I do thank you all for watching this, though. I hope that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.